Hi, I'm Paul.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the People's Podcast. I am your host, Paul Vibes, local motivational speaker. Our show is all about spirituality, self-development, connection, wellness. Please be sure to subscribe and follow us on a variety of different social media pages. If you know somebody that would be a great guest to our show or sponsor, please reach out. I hope you enjoy the episode. Hello, everybody. Paul Vibes here. I am very excited to have a very special guest, my good friend and mentor, Jim Ryan. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, normally we like to do it in-house, as you know, but we are learning to adapt. And I know that's something that we talk a lot, is adapting to whatever comes our way. And even though it's not under the best circumstances, I'm glad that we have the ability to chat through Zoom. It's pretty cool, right?
It's amazing. It's amazing. Technology.
It really is. You know, when this all went down, and I know we want to talk about the positive things and things that people can walk away from this experience, I think that's so true because it's so often in life that we tell ourselves negative things. These affirmations become our reality. And you see a lot of people going from one side. They're either dwelling and ruminating on all the negativity they see, or people like you and I are learning to adapt like this. And also learning, you know, maybe what's really important. You see a lot more people spending time with their family, reevaluating what's important in their life. Do you see a lot of that going on?
Yes. You know, these are the kind of things that we have to work on ourselves every day so that when these specific, difficult times come, we're not thrown for a loop. You know, we're able to roll with the punches. We're able to take things as they come. And one of the chapters in my book is being prepared is half the battle. We never know when life is going to throw us a curveball. And it's the people who have been living in the moment, the people who have been focusing on gratitude and so on, that are able to, take things in a more relaxed fashion. It's the people who are always making excuses and looking at the negative side of things. When this comes, they just get, devastated. It can be very devastating. But at the same time, it's an opportunity for all of us to learn to deal with things as they come.
Yes. And this is something that we all are going through together. And, you're basically in the field yourself, and I'm going, as you know, in the social work field. And something that I think you hear in any field where you're helping other people is this line. And tell me if you agree. You don't know what I've been through. You can't relate to the challenges. Well, this is a challenge that we all are going through as a collective. And unless you're living as a monk under a rock somewhere, you're going to be able to relate to this challenge a month from now, a year from now, 10 years from now. So this is something where we really are going arm in arm together through this challenge. And I want to speak to you. What amazing things do you see coming out of this, where people are coming together, as people are helping you have dozens of car companies coming together to make ventilators and masks and things that you never thought you'd ever see. You're starting to see. Isn't it amazing?
Well, a lot of good things can come from this, and that's the positive that I think we have to look at, whether it's on a national scene, on an international scene, or on just a local scene, or a family scene, or a personal scene. I like to bring it down to the personal level because that's what we have to deal with. It's nice. There's a lot of inspiring things going on for sure, but at the same time, there's a lot of hurt. A lot of the ripples are just so wide in people being affected, and it's an opportunity for people to look at themselves. It's like I did an aha moment a couple of weeks ago, and you mentioned it today in your introduction. This is an opportunity to see what a monk or a nun lives like in a cloistered situation. Where we could watch TV all day, we could clean the house, only so many things we can do. And sometimes it's good just to sit quietly and take stock of these things and be honest with ourselves of how am I doing, because how I'm doing really depends on what I bring to the situation, how I'm interpreting these circumstances. I could interpret them as the most horrible thing that's ever happened. And certainly we could all latch onto that, or we could look at what opportunity is coming my way. How can I learn to grow from this circumstance so that when it ends, and it will end sooner or later, how is my life going to be changed in a positive manner? That's what I like to look at.
Yes, yes. And you do see that. You see people that are realizing what's important, yet people spending more time around the family eating together than they've ever done. Yet people spending more time outside walking their dogs. Animals are getting the most attention out of this. I saw some studies that dogs are getting so much attention. I think they need a break from their owners. They're going on so many walks. And it really is. It really is a special time for people to go inward and really think deeply about what's important to them. And you do see that happening. And you're right, there is a lot of challenges, and there are people passing away, and it does create a ripple effect. But then on the other hand, you do see a lot of people having some deep realizations and changes that they make in their lives as well.
And there's so much positive stuff on Facebook. I mean, I'm on Facebook, and there are people that just have a nice perspective on things. And it's important to see that other people are working on themselves. It's not just me. It's a lot of people having the opportunity to check their perspective, because the perspective, the narrative that we tell ourselves about what's happening becomes our reality. Yeah. And even though there's difficult times, we can draw positives from it. And that's the nice part about it, if there is a nice part about this whole situation.
No, there definitely is. And you have some people that even with that, they say, oh, all the positive changes are going to go away a few weeks after this all ends, or whenever this ends. And I say to myself, listen, I like to think that people are going to make, I mean, you see changes happening to the environment. You see that the studies that the carbon footprint on the planet is going down. You see there's oceans and different bodies of water that you could actually see through, and see the dolphins swimming and the fish swimming. You see animals coming out of the wilderness and enjoying. And it's really almost like a reset for nature. I had some people that are very big spiritual coaches and speakers, Georgia Woodbine and other speakers you might know of. And they're saying how this is a big reset for nature. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, again, I'm not much, from that perspective. I appreciate nature, but it's never been one of my real areas of study. But again, I buy that idea of a reset. Here I am. How is my life going to be better because of what I've gone through? And that could be such a positive for so many people's lives. And people think their thoughts are their life. That's the bottom line. But they're just thoughts. We have 60,000 thoughts every day. And this period of time is an opportunity to take stock of what we're thinking about all the time, because we're in charge of our thoughts. We can let go of those negative thoughts. They're just thoughts. And it's through that, a little meditative practice that I like to do in the mornings and throughout the day, is just, catch myself quietly and notice, what thought am I hanging on to? And is that thought that I'm hanging on to, is it making my life better? Is it serving me? And, now again, we have this time away where we can really delve into that idea of noticing our thoughts and realizing that my life is a manifestation of the thoughts that I hang on to. So if I'm, woe is me, this is so terrible, that's what my life is going to be. But if I can see things from a different perspective, things don't have to be that bad.
Yes. And, it's funny, even before this challenge, whenever someone in my life or my friends were going through challenges or just being human, I think we'd agree challenges come in all shapes and sizes, and they don't discriminate, right? I've recommended your book, and I would love to pull some stuff and have you discuss some of the things from your book that you want to, and then, of course, tell us where we can find your book. But going through this challenge especially, what are some, techniques or things that you can help people maybe incorporate into their tool belts and going through these challenges, but also helping their family go through these challenges?
Well, one thing that I often bring up in my talks is people have problems. Like you just said, we have challenges. We have difficult times in our lives. And I'm part of an authors group, and one of the members of the group teaches first year writing at Suffolk Community College. It's a writing class, and at the beginning of every semester, the professor has everyone fill out a blank sheet of paper, no names, it's anonymous, and she says, write down your 2 or 3 biggest problems in your life. And they all write down their biggest problems, and they turn in the papers, and she collates them and comes back a couple of days later. And you know what the results always are? Everybody's got the same problems. It's amazing how we think our problems are different from everybody else's problems. And that in itself can kind of bring us down. But when we realize that, my problems are the same as the guy next door and the woman next door, we all have the same problem. So it's not what happens, but it's how we deal with what happens. And if we see something as a problem, guess what? It's a problem. But if we can look for the opportunity in the situation, and again, this is a perfect example of that situation. If we can look for that silver lining, your grandmother probably told you, Paul, when you were young, every cloud has a silver lining. Did you ever hear that?
Yes.
Yeah, if you're a grandmother, you got to know that, or a grandfather. So the idea is, it's our job, whenever we have a challenge, a difficult time, a problem, it's our job to look inside to see where is that opportunity. And there's always an opportunity in every problem. And the opportunity is always to grow in kindness, compassion, forgiveness, tolerance, understanding. And I say to my audiences, are these bad things to grow in? No, these are wonderful characteristics that we look up to people who exemplify these things. And it's our job, if we want to have a lower stress life, to always train ourselves to look past the circumstance and see the opportunity. And that's what we have today.
Well, when you said that, it reminded me when I shared with you the overcoming my own learning disability and how you've been a great mentor and cheerleader for me in a way, growing up and becoming a motivational speaker and even doing this podcast. You've been along the path even early on with me. And I remember us talking about that, how for me, I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for my challenges. So I went from a relationship with my challenges, feeling sorry for myself, feeling bad for myself. Why did this happen to me? And I think we all can relate, and people watching this have been in moments when they're in the midst of the challenge. It's hard to stay positive when you're in the middle of the challenge. Why this happened to me? I don't wish this didn't happen to me. I would be so much better off if this challenge didn't come my way. But for me, and I think other people, when you have time to reflect, you meditate on it, you grow, you mature, you look back and you're like, wow, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be the person speaking to you, Jim, right now if it wasn't for those challenges.
And that's so true. But it's not, like you say, it sounds simple, but it's not easy because we're human and we do have these feelings, and the feelings are sometimes reinforced by people from the outside. People are, made fun of. People are, telling you you're different. You're not the same as me. And that's a hard, very, very, very difficult challenge to overcome. But again, you are such a good example of that you give people hope. And that's what people need. They need hope that things can get better. And that's what we need today, is hope that things can get better.
Yes, and things can get better. They can.
They will. It's up to us to make it happen. It's not the economy. It's not the weather. It's how we deal with our daily life. Yes. I always tell people, gratitude is the place to start. We got to dig deep inside of ourselves and make a list of 10, 15, 25 things that we're grateful for, whatever they may be.
Jim, I want to talk to you about your great book. If you could pull the book up to the screen, I want us to talk maybe one or two more things about the great book you have here, and then also share where we can find the book.
Well, one of my favorite chapters in the book, it's got 52 short chapters. People love the book. It's been a real blessing. Sold thousands and thousands of copies.
I love it.
People buy it and they'll read it and they'll pass it along to someone they care about. One of the chapters I like is start as soon as you wake up. And that is so important. Like we talk about, I ask my audiences, what's your thought as you throw your legs over the side of the bed in the morning? What's your thought? And I said, it could be, thank God I can get out of bed by myself. That simple mundane activity of giving thanks for being able to get out of bed by yourself. Because so many people can't, and they wish they could. Then I say, what's your thought as you go down to the bathroom? And I said, don't tell me. I said, it could be.
I saw that part in your live talk. Very funny.
It could be, thank God I've got indoor plumbing. I bet you there's more people in the world without indoor plumbing than with it. And we take it for granted. See, we take so much for granted and we miss out on such opportunities for joy. And that's something that we can learn. We can train our brain to focus on gratitude. It starts as soon as you wake up, and it can carry you through the day. It won't necessarily carry you through the whole day, But if you start off with the thought of gratitude, and then the bathroom experience is you're grateful for that, and on you go.
I have to say, it's funny because with everything going on lately, because you wake up in the middle of the morning, you got a million things going through your head. Sometimes good things, sometimes negative things, sometimes just a list of things you need to do. And I'm telling you, Jim, recently I've been doing that, and I've been thinking about what you said about what I'm, because I'll stop myself. So what I do is I'll say, oh man, I got to do something. No, like I'm thankful. I'm up. I got the opportunity to talk to Jim today and this. And one thing, I just went to a random page in your book, and I tell all my friends, and you have to give me copies, and my friends end up stealing my audiobooks and my copies of my books. I have given them to my special needs clients. And what I love about this book is it doesn't hurt your brain when you're reading it. You can turn to any page and learn something, right? You don't have to read the chapter before necessarily. You could just jump right in. And I went to a random page, and I think this is perfect for what we're going to, and we can close on this topic if you want. It says, are you a human doing or human being? And you have people, Jim, that are used to doing all the time. So I want to know what we can say and do for the people that are used to that doing state where they're literally going crazy. And this is the first time they're sitting with their thoughts, maybe spending as much time with their family. They almost think that something's wrong because they can't be running around stressed.
Well, that chapter comes from a quote from Deepak Chopra, one of the top spiritual teachers of the world, a medical doctor from India and a spiritual teacher. He says, what are we, human doings or human beings? So often in today's humdrum, hectic world, we always think we got to be doing something. And if we're not doing something, we're not productive. And if we're not productive, we're not, we're less of a person than we could be. But he says, sometimes just being can be the most productive part of your day. And that's not easy for a lot of people. Meditation, there's another chapter similar to that is you can meditate. That's another chapter that's similar to it. And we talk about meditation and the benefits of meditation. And there are many, many benefits of meditation. But the one that I talk about most, well, a couple of them. One of them is this idea of when you sit quietly and just breathe, you'll notice thoughts coming into your head. And the idea, one of the benefits is when you're sitting quietly, you can notice the thought and you can let it go. And that's such a beautiful thing when you start to realize you are not your thoughts. Mm-hmm. Your thoughts are outside of you. They come and they go, they come and they go. They're not intrinsic, essential to who you are.
Yes.
And that meditation can give you that strength, that ability. It's an ability to notice your thoughts and let them go. And meditation, being is an opportunity for you to do that.
Yes. And I think those first couple of times that you do meditate, people start they start freaking out because like, oh my God, they're starting to realize how much is going on. But that's the first step, is to notice the chaos and the madness in our mind, because we're so used to filling that void, whether it's alcohol, whether it's this, whether it's that. We're used to, or just being busy keeps us out of our mind. So this is an opportunity for people to go deeper into their spirituality. And I want to just ask you, where can people find your book? And I'm going to post the links, but just for the viewers watching this, and also share us a little bit about your aha moments as well.
Well, the book is available at Amazon. It's available as an ebook if you want to, on Kindle or one of those e-readers. It's available there, and it's available in a physical book. Again, you've captured the essence of it. It's easy to read. It doesn't talk down to you, and you can just pick up a chapter and read it. Each chapter is about 2 or 3 pages.
Audiobook, and I'll be honest, normally audiobooks with smaller authors and stuff, they're not that good. And it was your voice, and you sound like you do this for a living. The book, it's such a calming, it's like a meditation just listening to the book. So I highly recommend the audiobook as well.
It's going to be coming out on like an Audible situation where you can download it into your phone and listen to it as you walk, or listen to it in your car. That's coming very, very soon. But you can get it on Amazon. And you can also, if you want to buy more than one copy, you can buy it from me, okay? I'll give you a discount if you buy more than one copy. I'll sign the copy for you. My phone number, if you want to call me, is 631-754-7636. or it's 1-866-JIM-RYAN. You can call that number also.
And I'll post it online. And I've seen
thank you.
You've given the boxes of books to maybe offices that give them away to their employees, their customers as a gift. And this is a great gift, especially during this time.
Well, that's it. That's one of my latest endeavors, is to try to get it into the hands of people who could give it as a gift, whether maybe it's an insurance agent, an investment advisor. I'll give you a great price on the book, and you give it away as a gift, and you solidify that relationship.
We may need to
and
give
it's
it
been successful.
Maybe hospitals now, even people, social work centers and mental health services. This is a great book for that as well.
Yep, I've sold them to funeral parlors. I've sold them to dry cleaners. Again, it's a great little gift to say thank you for a customer. And you can get it on my website also, JimRyanTalks.com. You go to my website, JimRyanTalks.com, and you can sign up for on my email list. You mentioned my aha moments. Every Wednesday, I send out an aha moment, a little uplifting thought, something positive to help you get through the day. They're free. Doesn't cost anything. You can always unsubscribe if they get to be too much. But I've got over 5,000 people on my list, and thousands of them look forward to it every Wednesday morning. They pass it on to their friends, their coworkers, and it's been a real kick. I'm up to number 617.
Wow.
I've been doing it for, I guess that's close to 12 years.
Yes, I remember when you first started. I remember early on you were doing it, and you've come a long way with it.
Well, it's something that keeps me in people's minds, and and it's something that it's just a little something. I just do it once a week, so people don't get inundated and overloaded. But it's been a lot of fun.
I look forward to them, and you've given us a lot of aha moments in today's podcast, Jim. So I really appreciate that. And listen, now with the convenience of Zoom, we can definitely do this more often for some aha podcast moments together.
Yeah, it could just be a 5-minute thing, a little idea, something quick just to pick you up and give you something positive to deal with and work on for a short period of time.
Yeah, so maybe we can do more. Maybe people who are watching this can comment if they're interested in us doing more of these quick little videos, even shorter than today's one. But of course, I love you in person. I'd like to give my guests a hug, but obviously with things going on, we can't do that. So I'm giving you a virtual hug and send you good vibes. But Jim, I got to say, I want to thank you for being not just a great friend, but a great mentor and just a great human being, always giving me the time of day early on in my career. And as I still look at myself early in my career, and you're still early in your career as well.
That's it. We're just getting started. We're just getting started. There's so much to do,
There is so much to do in this world, and it's exciting. And you should do something that gets you excited. Even though there's a million things that I know I need to do, and there's a million things you need to do, it's about enjoying the journey. And you've definitely helped me enjoy the journey more. I remember once I was talking to you, I just want to end on this point. I was talking, Jim, I got to do this. I got to get this done. My website done, this for sure. You said, Paul, if you keep waiting for every little thing to be done, you're never going to start. And then you said something like, it's all small stuff. You quoted a famous quote, it's all small stuff. Don't sweat the small stuff. And I really appreciate that advice, and I appreciate you. And Jim, I'm going to include your link on this video. And I hope you have a great night, a great day, and I hope that you come on soon again.
That's right. I'm happy to, Paul. You keep up the good work. You're really on the right path, and it's inspiring to me and so many others. So you keep up the good work.
Thank you, Jim. All right, we'll talk soon.
Hi, everybody. I just finished a short session with Paul Vibes on the People's Podcast. It's such a blessing. It's such a gift. Paul is a great interviewer. It's surprising for a young person. He handles the interview. It flows quickly and easily, and he gets the most out of the guests. And the guests are happy to come back and do a second and third visit. Paul just brings out the best in his guests, and I'm very happy to participate. And I'd advise anybody who has a message out there, whether it's financial, spiritual, get on the podcast and pay attention to the podcast. It's really interesting. Thanks so much, Paul.